Yo, 2019 Silverado. I have some goofy owner and tweaker drama going on with this truck. Yeah, as you can see right here, there's a nice slice in the tank because some tweaker just poked a hole in this tank with a utility knife to drain gas out of it and steal its gas. So the owner's like, oh, what do? I got all the gas out of it in 5-gallon buckets, and I'm like, just put some JB Weld over the hole and put 5 gallons of gas in it after it dries for a day and bring it to me, and I'll put a tank in it. Get a tank and I'll put it in. And he's like, oh, I put the JB Weld on and it's sealed, so I don't think I'm going to need a tank. It's like, dude, it's only a matter of time. You're going to need a tank. That was just temporary. He's like, no, I think it's good, so I'm just going to drive it. And I'm like, well, you better keep a tank with you because sooner or later it's going to leak. And of course it did, and he gave it to me with 18, 20 gallons of gas in it. I didn't really know how to get this gas out of here, so I just drilled a hole right here. I let it drain into a pan, and I got a Honda fuel pump. I just stuck in the pan like this and just hooked it up to a battery and drained it into 5-gallon buckets and gave the gas away to my friends and neighbors. I put a stopper on a drill bit too, just to make sure I didn't drive the thing into a fuel pump module or something. Yeah, that's the best way I could figure of getting the fuel out of this piece of He got this bad boy from a junkyard. It looks like it came out of a 2015 Silverado. Apparently there's 2 different kinds of tanks too, depending on who manufactured it. So hopefully he got the right one. Since seeing is not believing, I'm going to take a gas tank stealing tweaker course and just take my dull utility knife. See how easy this is to do. Oh, wow, look at that. Wow. Oh, and that's all you got to do. And steal gas. Looks like the first thing I'm going to do here is remove the filler tube, and I think this is just a vent hose. I got to cut this zip tie. Somebody undercoated the living snot out of this thing, so hopefully this doesn't get too messy on me. There's no rust on the truck though. There's a ground here, probably for static discharge or something. I'm going to leave that on. This vent probably goes to the Evap canister, I'm guessing. This hose right here, I think, is the vent for the rear axle, so I'm going to leave that. I have an upside down hose clamp here. It's probably an 8mm 5/16 or a regular screwdriver, and I won't be able to get a regular screwdriver up here, so I'm going to try to use an 8mm and a ratchet. Loosen this thing up. I have a hook tool. I'll just stab in here and carefully loosen this hose up. That's out of the way. And then for this upside down 1/4-inch jobby, looks like the only thing I can get in there with is a wrench, maybe, or a, I don't know, I probably could use a ratcheting something or another. There, now I can get at the thing with a ratchet. Just give it a twist and try to get that out of there. And with any luck, that should be all I gotta do right here. Now in the front of the tank, I have an Evap canister here, and there's a fuel pressure line up here, and there's an Evap vent hose that goes into the tank that I need to disconnect. And these got goofy little child-proof connectors on them. There's a little tab in the connector, and I gotta push that up out of the way on both sides. And then I can pull this little green thing up and out of the way. And then this comes out. And I got to do the same thing with the fuel up there. The fuel line might have pressure in it too, so you got to be careful. Either relieve the fuel pressure somehow. I don't know how, because I popped the hood and I didn't even see a fuel pressure test port. So one way or the other, this thing's just gonna squirt fuel all over the place, I'm guessing. So you just need to be careful with it. Same thing, there's a couple goofy child-proof tabs on here. I gotta try to get out of my way without breaking the thing. And I'm just gonna be careful and try not to make a huge mess. Now I have two straps on this gas tank to deal with. And on these straps on one side, there's a big hole in the strap where you can push the strap up to get it out. And then you just need to unbolt it with a 15mm on the other side. I got to use a jack for this, of course. And I'm going to take off the front strap first so I can put a jack under it, kind of under the strap, and then I'm going to take this strap off next, and then I gotta lower it down just a little bit because there's wires and stuff up there I got to deal with. This whole tank too is just a sticky, nasty mess. This undercoating in gasoline, it doesn't mix well at all. I'm just using a transmission jack for this. Oh, now it's leaking gas. Nice. What a stinky, annoying thing. Now I'm just gonna let this junk down a little bit until I can see them wires up there. Of course, I got these hoses to deal with, but they seem to be getting out of the way pretty easy. I still have a considerable amount of wire flopping in the breeze here. I got this connector here. I believe this is the Evap pressure sensor. And then this is the wire for the fuel pump module. There's a child-proof connector on here. I need to pull this gray piece of plastic back. Ah, that just broke. So that kind of didn't work the way I wanted it to, but I could push this tab in, pull this out, and then look, no more child-proof connector. Oh, great. And that's all I got to do. I can just take this tank out now. I just used my transmission jack and my motorcycle lift to try to make this easy on me. I'm going to have to put all of these lines on the other tank because they got a little butch and hacked from the junkyard dogs. If you're going to replace a fuel pump and module, these tabs are the same as them other ones I already took off. And then these are a little funky here. There's a little tab on both sides you lift up. And then you can pull this green child-proof connector clip thing out of the way. And there's a button in the back. You push in this button and then it releases it. I got to do that with all the rest of these hoses, get them all off of here. As you can see too, I have the door open so I can get as much ventilation in my garage as possible so I don't get too high from all the damn fumes from this gas tank. And then to get this fuel pump module out, I can just strike this with a small chisel and a hammer, counterclockwise. Just run around in a circle a little at a time. And I can get this ring off. And this fuel pump module just comes straight up, more or less. Then I got to kind of tip it sideways because there's a float in here. And I don't want to bend that wire on the float. And that's the whole module right there. He got a new O-ring. I probably don't need the thing. Probably could have just used the original one. They hardly ever go bad. Horseshoe the dumb float in here. Put the module in. It only goes in one way. There's a little mark here where I can tell where it went. Take my ring, put that on here. I should be able to just kind of center this module and push it down all the way. Make sure it goes in nice and square and it's in all the way. And I can just barely start this silly thing like that. And take my small chisel and hammer, pound this thing back in. Make sure it's seated all the way in. There's like little tabs that they snap in on. Then I can just reverse procedure and put all this junk back together. If you really want to, you can put some lubricant on these, like dielectric grease or something. But usually you never need to. They go right in. And that's it. This tank's ready to go in. I don't know if there's any real torque spec to that. Probably about 35 foot-pounds on that strap. And there it is. I've just got to fill it up with gas, and it's a job. If I did anything wrong, either it's going to puke gas all over the place or pull an evap code. Okay, bye.